This is the round ligament right here in the front. And the broad ligament is this ligament over in here. That's the flat one. Okay, so you're looking at a male or female over here? Why do you think it's female? Huh? Yeah, there's prostate right there. And what are these things right here? Nope. You're looking at the back. What are these things right here? Seminal vesicles, I think it's right here.
On the table, yeah. On the table here.
Oh, there it is, right there. You should have gotten that. It's right in front of you. So that's a male that you're looking at.
Is it in the front, right?
No, you're looking at the back.
The
This is
back?
the back, because the seminal vesicles are only seen from the back. They're on the back side of the bladder.
Why
That's
do we
the
have a
bladder
bond?
right there.
Why do we have a bond over behind that?
Wait a minute, say it again. What?
We have the bonds behind that.
Bond.
It's like the back of this one. Is it bonds? Is it this one?
Oh, bone. No,
Yeah.
that's not on the back. That's on the front.
Is it front?
Yeah, that's the symphysis pubis in the front.
Ah.
That's why I told you you're looking at the back side.
All right.
Okay, so here's a look at a nephron to remind you the parts of the nephron. Here is our little model of a nephron. You can see the glomerulus really well, the Bowman's capsule. There's your PCT right there. The structures should be color-coded the same. So this is anything that is, what color should we call that? Tan? I don't know. Yellow, gold, whatever it is part of the PCT. Because remember, it's convoluted and twisted. And then up here, although you really can't tell the difference, you've got the afferent and efferent arteriole. You can't really see the difference well on the two. What is this purple tubule right here? It's right in front of where the afferent and efferent come together. This is the DCT, so DCT, DCT, DCT. Actually, this is a loop of Henle right over there. This is a good view of simple squamous right there. Okay, so on this, you're looking at a male. This was just a good shot of a penis right there. There's the testes. There's the spermatic cord and a good view of the vas deferens right there. Okay, so blood vessels going up into the kidney. There's your renal artery. Then it splits into segmental arteries. Then it splits into an interlobar artery. And then you get up here to the top of the pyramids, it splits into the arcuate, going each way. And then if you follow up from the arcuate up into the cortex, these are the cortical radiate arteries and veins. Okay, so the view you're looking at over here is a close view of a testis with an epididymis right there. And over here, the legs are down here on the right and the head is to the left. And there's a good view of a kidney with renal blood vessels. There's the large intestine. And there's a bladder right there. There's a good ureter. And up here you've got a female. There's a large intestine. Here, if you look at this squiggly thing right here, it's coming down this way. There's a squiggly thing right over here. This is part of the uterus. There's the main part of the uterus, and then there's the vagina going out of the body. So minks have a different kind of uterus. Anything that has multiple births has a different uterus than a human. Humans' uteruses, uteri, are only meant really for 1 or 2 embryos. But these guys have multiple births, like 10, 12. And so they have a Y-shaped uterus. So this whole thing is uterus. This is not fallopian tube. In a human, this would look more like a fallopian tube, but not in a mink. So this is called the uterine horn. There's one on each side. The embryos develop all along the uterine horns. And then up here at the very top, there's that little lentil bean-sized ovary. They have a very short fallopian tube. You almost can't even notice the fallopian tube, it's so small. Oops, that's not what I wanted. Okay, so here are models of male and female. Okay, so here, what is the structure right here? Uterus. What's this down here? The vagina. Good view of ovary. What are these little things right there? They're fimbriae, and this is the what? Fallopian tube. There's a good view of that ovarian ligament I just showed you a while ago. Remember the regions of the uterus and the walls of the uterus. What's this area? Fundus. This is the body. This is the what? Cervix down here at the bottom. So the wall layers that you see here in deep pink, it's the myometrium, which is smooth muscle. This lighter layer outside, perimetrium, and the inner light pink layer, endometrium. So endometrium is going to be a epithelial tissue, then a muscle tissue, then an epithelial tissue again. And here is the same thing you just saw up here, except that it's the sagittal view. So what's this thing right here? Bladder. And what's that thing right there? The urethra. And then, of course, we've got labia majora and labia minora. So here's the male, and what's that thing right there? Bladder. It's not a good view. Can't really see it all that well, but this deep purple structure right there, prostate gland. So what is that gland right there on the back side of the bladder? Seminal vesicle. So, let's see, the vas deferens you don't see on here because the front portion of it was taken off. But it goes up around this way, it comes around the side of the bladder, it comes in the back side where it merges with the seminal vesicle tube, and it now enters the prostate, and what is that little passageway right there called? Nope, the urethra is right there. I'm talking about right there. Ejaculatory duct. What's that right there? Epididymis. And here is the penile urethra right there. Okay, so you've got a good view of, relatively good view of, not terribly important. The penile urethra is the main one. This is the prostatic urethra, and then you can't see it very well on the models, but right in here, so you're coming out of the bladder, you're in the prostatic urethra, it leaves the prostate, it goes this way, this is called the membranous urethra, and then you start into the penis, and you're now in the penile urethra. So the membranous urethra is really hard to see on the models because there's stuff over it. So anyway, erectile tissue. What's this erectile tissue right here? Spongy, the spongiosum, corpus spongiosum. Okay, what are you looking at here?
Testes.
Testes. What are these tubules called? And you've looked at them a couple of times, once in the endocrine system. Huh? Seminiferous tubules. What are the cells in between the seminiferous tubules? Cells of Leydig, or interstitial cells. Okay, so these are views of ovaries. Here's a low power view. You can see the follicles. These guys are follicles. Here, if you go out into this area and blow it up, that's what it looks like. These are the tiny little follicles, immature follicles, with primary oocytes in them. Remember, the female is born with all of her primary oocytes already made, and they're sitting kind of stunted, dormant in the middle of, at the beginning of meiosis 1. Okay, so they're gonna undergo meiosis one from puberty on, and the